Right. Under this tutorial, we'll be dealing with arithmetic progression involving word problems. Now, these questions, most times we are not told whether it is arithmetic progression or geometric progression. And of course, if it is an examination you are taking, the questions can be mixed up with the ones that has to do with arithmetic progression and the ones that has to do with geometric progression. Now, one thing that tends to differentiate them most times is the other one, the one of GP, always comes with something that traces ratio in it. Okay, now this one has nothing to do with ratio. Okay, now if you watch this, look at this very question. It said a man shared his savings among his five sons. The first son received 7,200 naira. The second received 6,600 naira, and so on. So in other words, there is something that they use to differentiate the other. Okay, this one has some amount bigger than the next, and the second has some amount bigger than the other. So the difference seems to be common. Okay, not like a ratio. Okay, all right. So this is tending to be a common difference. Now, the question is, how much will the last son receive? How much did the man save? Now, the last son, if you watch it, we might want to deal with the L formula of some of GP, but some of AP, just like this L formula. For this very question, it has nothing to do with this L. Okay. Now, said how much with the last son? Of course, the last son we can easily determine what the last son have without this sum. All right. Now, the last son is the fifth person. That's the fifth term. Okay, now here is T1. That's the first term there is 7,200 naira. That's the first son. Okay, all right, that first term A. And then second is 6,600 naira. All right, now we can easily get the common difference by saying T2 minus T1. Of course, T2 minus T1 is equal to 6,600 minus 7,200. Don't say because this one is bigger than this, you now use this to subtract from this. No, it is usually the second minus the first. Okay, all right. Now D, of course, is equals to 6,600 minus 7,200 is equal to minus 600. Okay, now that we've gotten the common difference, remember, once you state the last term, which is the fifth term, what you're going to have is A plus 4D. Okay, the 4 here is gotten as, remember, we have N minus 1 here. You should watch before you come into this video. There are up to 4 or 5 other problems under other videos under this arithmetic progression, which you ought to learn before you're able to dance well with this other one. All right, now here we have T5, that's the fifth term, the last son, which is the fifth son. Okay, equals to A plus 4D. All right, now T5 equals to A, of course, is equals to the first time, which is 7,200 naira. Okay, now plus here 4, and then D, common difference is minus 600. That's times minus 600. Now 7,200 minus 4 times minus 600 is equal to minus 2,400. So 7,200 minus 2,400 will give us 4,800. Of course, since the money is shared in naira, we also go with a naira currency here. All right, now the second question says, how much did the man save? Now, this should come to let you understand that we are told that the man shared his savings among. In other words, we ought to sum up the whole amount that both the first, second, up to the fifth sons received. We collect all the money and sum them together. Then, in other words, this is talking about sum of AP. Okay, all right. Now, man's savings equals to sum of AP, which now sum of the total term equals to N over 2 bracket A plus L close bracket. If I use the other formula of N over 2 into bracket 2A plus N minus 1D, I will still get the same answer, and I will still get it because already we know the common difference. We know the first term as well. Okay. Now in this case, what I need is since I was given the last term, I just go straight to it. This formula. This formula seems to be more simple. Okay, it seems to be simpler. All right, now sum of the 5 terms that for the 5 sons equals to n here is the 5 all over 2 into bracket a is equal to 7,200 plus L is the last term, which is this 50%. Okay, that's 4,800. Had it been I wasn't given this last percent, I'll use the other formula of 2a plus bracket n minus 1 close bracket d, then block bracket. Okay, but in this case, this just since last time is known, I used this simple formula. Okay, so my last time is 4,800. Now I have sum of the 5 terms equals to 5 over 2 into bracket. This plus this will give me 12,000. Now the sum now gives me 2 into this will give me 6,000, and then 600 times 5 will give me 30,000. All right. Now look at this other question. A clerk receives 3,500 as an initial annual salary with annual increment of 1,500. In what year of his service will he be paid 9,500 as an annual salary? Now, look at this question. A clerk receives 3,500 as initial. That means the first time there is that 3,500. That's initial salary. With annual increment. Increment means that this is the common difference yearly. Okay? That means in the next year, the clerk is expected to get extra 1,500 increment. Okay, now in other words, the first term is this, the common difference is 1,500. Now we are told in what year of his service will he be paid 9,500. This is simply telling us to find the number of times that this amount will keep, this money will keep increasing with this 1,500 to amount to 9,500. In other words, we are looking for a particular term. That particular term is n. Okay, n term. And from the formula of AP, every other thing here in this formula is known apart from the n. So we have to go for the n. All right. Now using the general term, we have a plus bracket n minus 1 or bracket d equals to the term we are dealing with now is 9,500. So this is the amount that we are looking for. So we now have A is my first term, which is 10,500, and then N is not known, minus 1. D is given as 1,500, that's the annual increment, equals to 9,500. Now 3,500 plus 1,000. Okay, I'm gonna open bracket following board marks. Okay, this is multiplication. 1,500 times n will give me this. 1,500 times minus 1 will give me minus 1,500. This is 1,500 n. Okay, 1,500 times n is 1,500 n. All right, equals to 9,500. Okay, now we now have 1,500 n as an applied like term down equals to 9,500 is already here. Now 3,005 crossing becomes minus 3,005. Minus 1,005 crossing becomes plus 1,005. Now 9,500 minus 3,500 plus 1,500 give me 7,500. And now I'm looking for n. I have to divide both sides by the quotient of n, which is 1,005. If I divide here by 1,005, the 1,005 will cancel 1,005, n will be left alone. Now equals to this one also divided by the same 1,005. Our n will be equals to 5. Okay, this divided by this will give me 5. That means it is in the 5th year that the salary will amount to 9,500 naira. Now, looking at this, we have the third question here. A man whose initial salary was 15,000 per annum had earned 435,000 naira after 15 years of service. What is the annual increment? And in this case, a man whose the initial salary was given, that's the first term was given, per annum, had earned 4,500 after 15 years. That means in the 15th year, he was able to save. Not that this is what he was paid in the 5th year. It means that he has been saving this money that this salary that he has been receiving until the 15th year. What he got is 4,350 naira. So that is he had earned, not that he was paid. Okay, all right. Now, in other words, this is the sum of the amount he has received for the 15 years of service. All right. So we are going to use sum of AP to tackle this question. Now, we are now asked, what is the annual increment? Now, the annual increment in this case has to do with the common difference. Now, we still go with the formula. A is equals to the first initial salary, which is 15,000 naira, and then sum of AP equals to n over 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1 close bracket d. Now, I'm going to use this one instead of the one of a plus l because the last term was not given. What was given is the amount he received at the total amount he has received at the end of the 15 years of service. All right, not the amount he received at that particular year of service. No. All right, now at this point we have sum of the sum he received is this 4,350,000 naira equals to the number of years is 15, as we were told, 15 years of service all over 2. Now 2 times A is 15,000. Okay, now plus n is the 15 minus 1, then d is what we are looking for. That is the common difference, the annual increment. All right, now we now have this is still done, and then working inside the bracket, and I have 15 minus 1 will give me 14. That's just what I did at this. I have to take it step by step so you don't get confused. Now the next thing I dealt with is 2 times. So what I did at this point is these 2, I had to. All right, what I did here is I factored out the 2. Okay, looking at this, I have 2 here, and then I brought out another 2 from here. Now, if I should divide this by 2 to give me 7, so I factored out 2, so that these 2 end up canceling these 2 that I have here. Now, what I have left is 15,000 plus 7d. Okay, now these 2 will cancel these 2 to give me we'll be left with 15 into bracket 15,000 plus 7d. Okay, all right. Now, if I don't want it that way, I can just multiply this in out, and then I will still have to factor out the 2 so that it will be able to cancel out. Okay, with this one. All right. So at this point, we now have 435,000 equals to 15 bracket 15,000 plus 7d. Now at this point, I now have this 15. We have to multiply everything in this bracket. 15 times 15,000 will give me 225,000 plus 15 times 7d will give me 105d. All right. Now this amount, collecting like times now, I want d to be left alone. So this amount, this one crossing becomes minus 225,000 naira equals to 105d. Okay, now this minus this will give me 210,000 naira equals to 105d. Now I have here 2,000. Okay, because at this point, how I got the 2,000 is I have to divide both sides by the quotient of d, which is 105. So dividing here by 105, dividing here by 105, I have 210 divided by 105 will give me 2,000.